In this lesson, we're going to talk about viewport navigation. Alright, so now that we have learned about the interface, we went over the interface, got just a broad overview that will kind of help you to break down what's in each different section. You even learned how to customize it a little bit just by kind of dragging around the lines, getting it to fit exactly the way that you want for your own project. So now let's talk about how to move in the viewport, as this is going to be the area that we spend most of our time. So the first way is to learn how to navigate the viewport using the standard method. The standard method is using just the mouse. If you hold down the left mouse key, or mouse button I should say, and you hold that down and you drag, you'll notice that you can move about the level. So if you push forward on that mouse, you're just moving forward. If you pull back, you'll move backward. But then if you also move left and right, that's kind of like moving the camera in position. So it's kind of like looking around. So this is a really great way of getting around very quickly. Now beyond that, if you hold down the right mouse button and you move around, this is just looking in place. So you can look down, you can look up, in any direction really. Now you can also hold down the middle mouse button, and by doing that, this is going to allow you to pan the camera. Okay, so it's moving in a parallel fashion to the viewing direction of the camera. Alright, so that's the standard movement. Now another thing that I want you to know about is you can hit the F key on the keyboard, and what that will do is it will frame in on the selected object. So you'll notice the camera moves back, and we can see that entire object in our camera's view. Now this is really important whenever we are using the next method of navigating the viewport. So once you hit F on the keyboard, you can now hold down Alt on the keyboard and then hold down the left mouse button, and that will allow you to orbit around the selected object, okay, or the framed object. You could also hold down Alt and the middle mouse button. That will allow you to pan, and then if you continue to hold down Alt and the right mouse button, that will allow you to zoom in and out. Okay, so that's just another method of navigation. This is more prone to like the Maya's, to Autodesk Maya viewport navigation. So holding down Alt using the left, middle, and right mouse button. Now there's one other way that we can navigate in the viewport, and this is probably my most preferred method. This is using the WASD format. So to do this, you'll need to hold down the right mouse button. So this will allow you to move the camera around in position. So you're kind of like looking around in the scene. But now, with that still held down, I can use W to move forward. I can use S to move backward, A to move to the left, and then D to move to the right. Now I also have the ability to move straight up and down using Q, which will move down, and then E, which will move up. Okay, so you can use those 6 keys. W to move forward, S to move backward, A to the left, D to the right, Q down, and E up. Alright, so that is viewport navigation. We've talked about the different methods of getting around there. Now what I want to do is I want to take some time and talk about placing objects and manipulating objects in our scene. So we'll get started with that in our next lesson.